Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Zach, the co founder and CEO of Squadcast.fm, the best way for professional podcasters to record remote interviews. And today's video, we're going to be running a quick demo session with my co founder, Rock. We just signed up for Squadcast, we got a fresh account, and we're here within our schedule. A few things to note. There's a button to jump to past sessions. As we schedule and interview guests, those sessions will roll off into the past, and then they'll be accessible within our past sessions here or our library page up in the top navigation. There's also another button for a reusable session. Um, that will be a session that is can't be deleted and good for scheduling applications like Calendly or Acuity. When you invite a guest through those apps with an automated email, this link will always work. So you can copy it and use that future forward if you want to schedule with one of those platforms. That's cool. Or you can schedule within Squadcast. We have this form here, and we'll give it a name, Demo with Rock. It pre-populates with date, time zone, date. If we want to schedule out in the future, that's cool. You can choose a date as far out in the future as you'd like, different time zones, and then we can copy a link to invite our guests, or we can invite them here with an email invite, and that'll send Rock an email with a big button to join the session, or add it to his calendar if it's out in the future. And it'll also send myself, the host, an email to notify me that I have indeed scheduled this session and I can add it to my calendar. There's also two buttons down here at the bottom to schedule this in advance. If we just want to schedule, batch episodes out into the future, you can create as many as you'd like and schedule them. Or if this is a session for today, like our demo, we can click the join button here. So I'll click that, and that'll put us right into our session. Cool. So now we're in our onboarding process. This is only needed the very first time, just to make sure we're using Google Chrome as our platform. That helps us provide an awesome experience to you. So that looks good. We ask for some permissions to the devices that will be helpful to recording audio. So the microphone will allow access to that. That's to protect your permission. This is something that's built into Chrome, so we just need to do that one time. Camera will allow it, but it's optional. You can skip it, or if you don't have one, that's cool too. Location, we'll see why this is useful in a sec. All right. And we record audio locally. At the same time as a conversation that you're having with a guest remotely, we're recording each individual on their local device, and that way we can ensure the highest quality possible. And because we're recording each person individually, you're going to end up with a separate track, a separate file in WAV format for each person. And that will line up in post-production for you without any audio drift. That's critical to not introduce anything like that into your post-production workflow, where it just ends up being time getting your conversation to line back up. You will not have to do that on Squadcast. We take care of it for you. And you'll never lose a recording on Squadcast for two reasons. Because we are uploading your audio as it's being recorded, that will ensure if somebody's computer dies or their network goes down or something like that. It's raining here in Oakland today, so if the network were to go down and we're in the middle of recording, we always have your audio uploaded to the cloud and can always generate a file from you for you. And that is our primary recording mechanism, as well as recording backups automatically in our cloud that can be retrieved upon request by our audio engineer, Vince. He's happy to get those over to you with the quickness. So a couple levels of redundancy are baked in, so you'll never lose a recording on Squadcast. And then support. We take this uber seriously. So we have a menu up here for videos and documentation, as well as chatting with us with built-in intercom chat. You can also access the docs through here as well. So that's always at your disposal. We respond, as you can see here, we typically respond in a few minutes. And it basically sends a text message to our whole team, and we can jump in and help anytime. So that's always there. And looks like we're wrapped up, and we can jump into Green Room. Before we do that, I want to highlight the sidebar over here. We have recordings, chat, and session. So if we wanted to send another invite email to a third or fourth guest, you can do that, or just copy a link to your clipboard and send your own invite email. That's cool too. So we'll just type a message here real quick and see if Rock's already in the session. Meanwhile, we can advance to Green Room. Hey, what's up? That's me. See, get a preview of the video, get a preview of your mic. Oh, looks like Rock's in the session. Cool. So we'll see him in just a minute. And we got some equipment settings down here. If we want to change our microphone, mute our microphone, you can see the VU meter stops. If you want to do that, camera, like I said, is optional. So you can toggle it off and your social avatar will pop in for you there. And also do a sound check on your output device, on your headphones. You can click that and it'll, sorry, it just played a quick little audio clip to make sure that it's coming out of the right speakers. And you can select some different monitors if you have those at your disposal. And then some other information over here in the right column. We have whether or not we're plugged into power, our network's in good order, 4G connection, local time. This is useful when recording on different coasts, like we often do here in Oakland, recording with folks on the East Coast. You want to be mindful of the local time to in the evenings, especially, to make sure that your guest is comfortable recording. And we got a few other things like versions of Chrome and Squadcast to make sure that everything's in order there. Cool. And all of this information is available for each individual in a session. So once we connect with Rock, we'll see he's also in Oakland, his local time, what his network is, and some other stuff like what microphone he's using. That's a useful thing to know, that your guest is probably not a professional podcaster. So to kind of have that shared awareness, we find is very helpful for our hosts. So let's jump into the session by clicking the button down here. All right, and we have a recording button down here at the bottom. We'll get that started and say what's up to Rock. What's up, Rock?
What's up, man? How are you?
Super stoked for the demo. So we got V1 coming in. This is our second demo video. So how you doing?
Doing great, man. It's it's not the most beautiful day here in Oakland, but it's a nice rainy day, which is cool from time to time. So yeah, doing well.
Yeah, so let's check out what we got going on with Squadcast. Like I said, we have some equipment controls for each individual down here. You have those on your end as well as my guest, Rock. You want to talk a little bit about what you're seeing as the differences between the host and the guest experience?
Yeah, so right now I just see the video of myself and you, and then I see that when you hit the record button, the record button flashed red at me, and the ticker on the time in the bottom right started ticking, and then I got the ability to chat with you, which is cool too. So that's all I can do. Not much else, right?
Yeah, no, it's intentional. We want the guest experience to be literally hands off, right? Just show up. And then some other stuff like the between two mics branding, the name of our session, and chat. That way we can all keep the conversation moving forward. As the host, I also have in addition to the chat in the sidebar, we also have a recordings tab. I can see that we're both recording files right now. Zach1, Rock1, those are already there with this little cloud icon up here. So that's and you see that on your end, right, Rock?
Yeah, definitely. I see and when I hover over it, it says uploading progressively.
Yeah, so like I was saying in the onboarding, we're uploading the audio as we're recording. That also has a side effect of being the fastest way to upload audio. It's like when we're wrapped up here, we'll see a file show up like right away, and that makes it really easy for your guests to bounce out. They're busy people, so once you hit stop, you don't want them having to leave a Squadcast tab open so their file can upload for however long that takes. So we've been there, done that. Now things are much faster and more stable with V1 and progressive upload.
Yeah, it's nice that I don't have to leave my computer open and not have to worry about doing anything on my end to send you this file. That Squadcast takes care of itself.
Yeah, and that's a good thing to note is that I didn't have to connect to any Dropbox account or Google Drive or anything like that. We upload to Squadcast Cloud, and then we always have your files there, both in primary and backup. And we'll be adding the ability to sync those to Drive or Dropbox in the future. But for now, we just want to make sure we can provide you with that single source of the truth and always have your audio for you. Other things to note is support. Like I called out earlier, if like let's say I couldn't hear rock or something like that, I'll open up the support here for us, and that'll open up a chat with our team. So I'll start that conversation, and I won't bug them, but you can see there you can chat with us anytime, and looks like I'm online. Cool. So did you have any other questions for me, Rock?
I mean, I guess, we just to clarify, we're not recording the video. The video is for conversational purposes. I'm not sure if you mentioned this also, but like, hovering over these toolbars here lets you see um, the details as far as like location and time zone, Wi-Fi connection. You can see yourself along with your guests. So that's pretty cool, getting an idea of each other's environment. Um, I mean, I think that's pretty much it, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. We went over an onboarding that we're recording everybody separately. That's just audio, like you mentioned, not video at this time. Um, but that is something that is our most requested feature. So that's definitely in our roadmap in the cards for this year, 2019. And I think we're just super excited to bring the V1 update, which is totally about stability. So share some inside baseball here. The number of backups that we get requested is one of the metrics that we follow really closely, and that's been sub 1% for the last couple months now. So we feel really good about that. And even in that sub 1%, we're still able to provide backups through Vince, our engineer. So I think that's something that we're really proud of, and just wanted to get out of beta strong and bring a product to the podcast community to ultimately be of service. Right. That's why we got into this, was because remote interviews are not easy. They're riddled with anxiety and wondering if you're going to get your recording. Um, that's those are the anxiety that we remove from the equation, right? So focusing on the pre-production of scheduling, making sure everybody is in sync before the session starts, in sync through recording, and then your files in post-production will line up the way that we heard them here today. So I think with that we can wrap up the recording, say peace out to Rock, and then see what these files look like in our library. All right, let's hit stop, and we'll see you later, Rock. Cool. So we left the session. Looks like our recordings are there for us. We'll rate the session. All right. Kept it pretty quick. And then that'll take us back to our schedule. So if we want to pick up on our next session, if you're recording back to back, you'd see all future sessions listed out here. We only have the one for now. And if you wanted to rejoin that, re-record with Rock, reconnect, you can always jump back into it by clicking it here. You can edit it, copy the link to send to a guest, or delete it from here. And then if we jump over to our library page, this is where we can see we have 7 sessions with 8 recordings. We can jump back to the schedule if we'd like, but if we select the demo with Rock session, you'll see that our files will start to load here, and we get waveform previews for each one. You can see the length is exactly what you'd expect it to be. That's how long we recorded, almost 6 minutes. And you can share a recording by copying the link here, downloading it, and which I'll do here in a second, and we'll pop these into Adobe Audition to see some of the finer details. But I just want to highlight that you can play back the files here. You have a playhead, You can listen to that to make sure it's the right file. You can also delete them from here. And just visually here for a second, if we take a look, we can see that these waveforms do line up. There's not any audio drift where like Rock's responding as I'm still speaking or anything weird like that. So I'll get these files downloaded and we'll pop them into Adobe Audition. I want to highlight the naming convention as well that we have here. Zachariah_1, Rock_1, date and time. That makes sure that your files has a unique name, one, and two, is has the person's name that they used when they joined the session, and then the recording number here. So if we can do as many takes as we'd like with Rock. We could have hit record and stop. That would generate like we did. That generates Zach1, Rock1. If we did that again, that would get Zach2, Rock2. And we can continue to do that for as many takes as you'd like. So I'll pause while these are downloading, and they're big WAV files. So we'll give them a second, and then we'll get those over into a multi-track session in Adobe Audition. All right, and we got Rock1 and Zachariah1 imported into a multi-track session in Adobe Audition. And you can see right away that the waveforms are more detailed here, and everything lines up the way you would expect it to here in our timeline. So if I select any one of these files, you can see some of the details here. We record at a 44.1 kilohertz sample rate in mono with a 16-bit depth. So that's CD quality, really high quality. Dynamic range is all good without any clipping there. So we record at a fixed volume for now of 85 out of 100, and that ensures that we get this nice dynamic range without much clipping going on. When I switch back to the multi-track, you can see that we have both of our files in their totality. They're exactly the same length in time and duration. Even the time codes match up in the file name. So it's exactly what you'd want to see. Multi-track editing gives you, recording everybody on their own separate tracks gives you in post-production, or your editor, your producer in post-production, gives the ultimate flexibility in editing each person individually. If Rock were to cough or my dog were to walk by, you could edit just that bit out of the recording and not impact the others. If we were to give you a pre-mix, that would be much more difficult to do. So we want to empower, like I said, your workflow from pre-production into production with your interview to post-production with editing the tracks that we help you record. And with that, that's a pretty quick lap around Squadcast.fm. We're uber focused on providing the best solution for professional podcasters to record remote interviews. And we're out of beta after the last year of working hard alongside with the podcast community to really bring something of value. So check us out at squadcast.fm and start your 14-day free trial. You can record as many practice or demo interviews as you want in that 14 days. No real limits there, and we just want to be helping you record remote interviews. So feel free to hit us up anytime. We're super available on both on our website and on social media at squadcast.fm. So thanks for your time.